is Erico and I am back again. I hope you guys are doing well. So let's talk about this topic that's coming from South Korea and K-pop, which is very well known. I know you guys absolutely love K-pop and are still very crazed about it, as it is a very popular genre. So this has to do with the appearance that comes with being an idol and how it sets a standard, and it causes people to think that appearance is really like the main factor of being in this entertainment world. However, it is more, but there's such a toxic thing around appearance, and this topic also highlights that as well. So this has to do with a Korean female pop group. Their name is G Idol, and their member Suha. She was originally from Taiwan. She was scouted. She came over to South Korea and signed with 큐브엔터테인먼트, and she learned Korean, and she also speaks Taiwanese. She has a very strong opinion about appearance and how she sees herself, and it resonates a lot with a lot of G Idol's fandom. And it's mostly because she sees herself as just being normal. She's like, I don't always want to do the glitz and glamour. I don't always want to dye my hair. I don't always want to be super pale. I don't always want my pictures to be, doctored up and looking a certain way, because that's not how I naturally look in real life. And I absolutely love this.
일단 얼굴 예뻐야 돼요. 얼굴 예쁘면 어떻게 찍어도 예뻐. 두 번째, 찍는 사람도 잘 찍어야 되고 센스도 있어야 돼요. 인사 보면은 제 감성 있어.
It also brings about the topic of, do idols have a say in how their pictures are actually edited? Because there was an instance that happened where Suha saw the picture that was posted to her Instagram through her label, and it was not the same picture that she originally wanted to be posted. And so she exposed it. She went online and said that that picture was photoshopped and edited, and is not the picture that I told them to post. I told them not to doctor, not to edit, not to touch up my photos, and they did it anyway. Now I will say this girl, she's a pretty girl. The doctored up photo doesn't look too terribly different from the original photo, but that's not the point at all. The point is that they still went behind her back and doctored up this photo, even though they were not supposed to. So it shows that the label and the artist obviously have two different mindsets, and the label overall will still do what they want to do. And it opens up this whole discussion of idols allowing this to happen and them not speaking up, and them just saying, well, oh, it is what it is, we're signed to them and we just want to be in a group and make money and be well known and be popular and be a household name, so we just kind of just let it be. And it's really a sad and disheartening situation when you really think about it, because appearance in South Korea is something that is superficial and also mentally damaging, especially when you see women and they all get surgery to look the same, they all diet to look the same, they all doctor their photos and use lightening creams to all look super pale. We see this with the idols all the time, the small faces, the small body frames, and how this is glorified. And if you even have a little bit of fat on your bones, if you're even a little bit not ghostly pale white, you either get super edited or they talk about it. And Korea needs this thing in a form of a movement where looking normal is okay. Like, you don't need to have all the super extravagant filters and the Photoshop and feeling like that you need to look super perfect in this world of being an idol, because they don't look like that in everyday life. They don't look like that behind closed doors. They don't look like that before the makeup team gets to them. They don't look like that before the Photoshop team gets to their pictures. We've seen in numerous examples of the picture just being overly photoshopped, overly lightened to match this standard. And it's like Korean people in their natural everyday life do not look like this. Like, no matter how much they try to doctor themselves, try to lay on the surgery table, try to use all these different creams and stuff, most Korean people do not look like this in real life. And that's why we get people that will come to South Korea and they'll look around, they're like, the men don't look like Korean actors or idols. Like, they don't look like that because most Korean people do not look like that in real life. They are forced, they are brainwashed and told that you have to do this in order to be popular. And there is a subculture as well that looks at these pictures and they dissect it, and it's like, you gotta look like this.
나도 받고 싶지 않은 사진 왜 팬들한테 주는데? 소속사에 관한 아이들 슈아. 스케줄이 끝난 뒤 공개된 아이들 멤버들의 셀카. 그런데 슈아는 자신이 사진을 본 뒤 직접 소통 앱을 통해 회사를 공개 저격했다. 슈아는 셀카 원본을 보내며 이거 원본이요. 회사가 이상하게 포토샵해가지고 화가 나서 포토샵하지 말라고 했어요. 내가 마지막 사진 다 확인해서 보낸 건데 갑자기 이렇게 돼서 네버버한테 보내는 사진인데 이상하게 주지 말라고 했거든요. 나도 받고 싶지 않은 사진 왜 네버버한테 주는데? 라고 말했다.
And if you don't look like this, you are an other. Or you are not up to par. So to have idols coming out like Suha, who is saying that, no, I'm not going to dye my hair. No, I'm not going to be pasty white all the time. Yeah, I'm going to go out looking normal. Yeah, I'm going to have my normal black hair. That's the other thing. Talking about like the dye jobs, I would love to see a Korean male K-pop group with all black hair. I'm just throwing it out there. I would love it. I feel like when I first got into K-pop, that was a thing. Nowadays, not so much. They always gotta have the cut up, the dye up, the curl up, the split part, the super face full of makeup. And I'm just like, okay, if you want to look like an experiment, that was kind of mean. But you know, like, just minimalism is more. That's all I'm saying. Looking natural is more. And this could apply to every single culture as well. Looking like a normal human being is more. Why? Because it's relatable. Why? Because your listeners can see yourself or see themselves in you. And it's okay, you don't have to look perfect all the time, because you don't look perfect. I don't care how much diet you do. I don't care how much you reconstruct your face, how much you dye your hair, how much you try to play around with your eyes and widen your eyes, and the before and after photos of your high school pictures come out and you look nothing like them and you look like a whole completely different person from another universe. Being normal and looking normal is okay, and it deserves to be loved as well. And I wish that this would resonate in Korea's culture and become a thing. I don't feel like South Korea is there yet, and that's me just being completely honest. I do feel like that there is beacons of light and people like Suha, and you know the sad part is that she's not even Korean. But Taiwan is very progressive, especially with the different beauty standards and people having like different opinions, opposing opinions. So like when I heard that she was from Taiwan, I was like, I'm not surprised. When I saw like how she was moving, not surprised. She seems like a very fun girl. She seemed like in the beginning she conformed. I'm not gonna lie, I think when she first joined Cube, she conformed, but I think as time went on, she was like, I found my worth. I'm not gonna conform all the time. And that's a beautiful thing, you know. I think that as people, sometimes we need to have solid ground and know when to stand up for ourselves, even though it may be scary and it may go against the grain and go against, you know, what's seen as normal. But you will resonate with someone.
짜증나 진짜.
아 그런 거 했었어야 되는.
Yes, I'm nude.
Who is watching you, especially when you're in the entertainment industry. And I think that more people need to have this mindset. It will stop people from exiting this world. It will stop idols from being found deceased in their houses. It will stop Korean entertainers from being found deceased in their cars. It will stop Korean entertainers from being found deceased with notes laying next to their body, period. You know, it's like, I just wonder when like people will get it, especially like Korean society. I don't feel like that they've truly gotten it yet, but I do feel like that they're moving in the right direction, so that's a good thing. I think that this whole instance really opened up a whole dialogue that can be talked about, and it's something that can be talked about deeply, especially with the idol and how they want their image to be portrayed and them having control of their image, and also the label listening to them as well. Cube was definitely wrong for not listening to her, and that concerns me, and that should concern you. And if you're a fan of any of the groups that are under Cube, you should be a little tad bit concerned, because it means that they're not listening to the artist. And this applies to all the other labels as well. Listen to your artists. They're your talent. They're making you money. They are not just a soulless product. They're a product, but they're still human beings, and they deserve to be heard. They deserve to have control over their image, because it's their image, it's their face. They shouldn't be coming out online going against something you already posted because they feel like that you're doing them wrong and you're disrespecting them. So you guys, this is a lot to think about. How do you feel about this whole topic? Follow my social media, mostly my Instagram. Also a blog, News Asian Pop Culture. The link is always down in the description box below. And remember, be real, stay real, live in the real, and I will always be back. Thank you guys for watching. Put below your thoughts. Support G Idol. Support Suha. Support all of your favorite groups that you want to see flourish. And I will see you again. Bye.